when we came back to playing or watching Premier League games, I had a feeling that it was only going to last for that first week or so, and then it would be obligation achieved, carry on as usual. But the fact that it's still going on, I think is a great testament to, as you say, the momentum. Now,
Empty stadiums, drinks breaks, 5 substitutions. These are things that have become part of a new normal in football since it returned after the break due to the coronavirus. And just like the rest of us, former England goalkeeper David James is still getting used to these things, and he hopes that these things don't carry over into the next season. However, the one thing that has caught the attention and impressed the former Kerala Blasters coach is how players have continued to take a knee in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement, sending out a powerful message.
Black Lives Matter.
I think the most important thing here is the fact that this is something that the players wanted to do. The Premier League have resisted any kind of dare I say, political stance with regards to backing or dismissing anything. I think the closest they've got is wearing the poppy, perhaps, for the remembrance, but that's not a political thing, that's a remembrance thing. So for the Premier League to allow what essentially is a political slogan in Black Lives Matters, and the backing of the players, also say the request of the players to do this, I think is very important. When you're in a position of influence, dare I say, if you're a top sports star, then you have some influence over your followers. I would argue, and I'm saying this because I'm doing it myself, I've spoken to the London Mayor's office about how I could help them in dealing with some of these issues, and I left it open because, as I say, I haven't got the qualifications to say that I've done this and I think that we could approach it this way. It was more a case of they're the experts, I'm the guy who used to play football and still get recognised by people, so if there's some way that you can use me to help the issue, then I'm all for it. Ultimately, I think that if you're going to make change, you can say something and everyone's entitled to it, but there's a way that you could sort of influence more people by getting involved with the right people, if that makes sense. So I'm looking to do it. Again, I'm not entirely sure how it will work, but if I'm one person amongst many that are trying to push things in the right direction, and this is more on the equality level than it is strictly about Black Lives Matters. The equality because I'm not going to use it that I'm against anything, but I've always fought for equality in every department. So going back to India, I mean, one of the things that got me with the ISL is why an Indian coach isn't allowed to manage an ISL team. It's ridiculous. Tangboy was with me at Kerala, and I tried to get Tangboy to do more than he wanted to do sometimes, because I didn't want to be just, we're foreign guys coming over to India telling you exactly how to play football in India. It's a unique environment with the ISL, no promotion, no relegation. it's even the league system is pretty much unique to most football leagues in the world. So, the equality there was for Tangboy to be equal in everything we did, not just the Indian guy who happened to be in the side because they required it as part of the league rulings. It was, so as I say, that's me. It's more about trying to use anything that my status is worth to get something positive for whoever can receive it. Again, I'm not targeting one area in society. It's more of a sort of open book with me. The Liverpool of old being so successful over so long, I think there was definitely an expectation for us. I expected to win more than win more than just the League Cup while I was there. But
in the 1970s and 80s, Liverpool were the most successful team in England. However, from the onset of the 90s, during which time James played for the club, making over 200 appearances between 1992 and 1999, it was a different story as the club went through one of the longest droughts for a league title. After 30 long years, long after James and many players and managers had come and gone, the Reds finally won the elusive crown again. James believes that the success is not down to one individual, but a collective effort.
But strangely, the biggest input to Liverpool, I think, was their scouting and recruitment system. Much maligned by, I know, the English football media and punditry weren't happy, thinking that they were rubbish, but they proved to be, I think, the key sort of employment at the club, because once Brendan Rodgers gone, they recruited Jurgen Klopp, and Jurgen Klopp took the players that he had at his disposal, not bringing in new players, and totally transformed that side. And now, I mean, the way that Jurgen Klopp runs a club, I don't think you can point a finger at one person. When I say the recruitment, it's a team. But when you look at a lot of clubs, you can look at one person and go, Alex Ferguson at Manchester United was the person that got Manchester United into that position for 20 plus years. With Liverpool, Jurgen is part of a big team. Yes, he controls it, but he knows his roles and responsibilities. He knows where his strengths and weaknesses are, and he has trust in the people around him to get the performances. So what we've seen over essentially 2 seasons now is the fruits of 2 or 3 years of hard work by a lot of people to get Liverpool into such a demanding position. With Jurgen Klopp, I'd say this quite a lot to people, is that the day that he came in, or should I say the first transfer window that he had, he didn't sign him. And if you're in that changing room with a new manager coming in, you're expecting the first thing to happen is new players come in and changes to be made. But by not doing so, he gave every player the opportunity to prove themselves and gave them confidence that he believed in them. So, little things like that, managers can't do. And it makes me laugh sometimes when you hear about managers taking over, especially in sort of top flight football. And the first thing is, transfer window, we're going to buy new players. That's basically saying that the players are not good. In which case, the previous manager should have bought new players and he would have got better results. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's where Jurgen's strength is. As you say, people following a successful manager is always going to be difficult. But again, if the ethos is similar, then you would expect to get somewhere near the same results. So, whoever's going to follow Jurgen, they've got a tough ask already. Not that I'm trying to say that Jurgen shouldn't be there, but I think it will be a tough ask whenever it happens. Well, I'm looking for English management.
Okay.
what with being in, I mean, I signed a 3.5-year deal, and I would have, had things gone according to plan, I'd still be out there now, which I was more than happy to do. But after travelling around for 18 months, and as I say, coming back to England now, I've kind of got back to settling down in England, and I want to give it a go. So, I've never managed in England. I've never applied for a job in England. So I want to see what it's like to do that in England. Now I've been sort of spent the last year exposed to English football. But I'll always come back to India. That's the thing. I'll always come back to India. And I hope, Kerala Blasters in my heart, that the new management staff at Kerala Blasters can turn it round, and a little bit like Liverpool in the Premier League, after 7 years, we actually get to the final and win something. So, I'll be supportive. Actually, I haven't got it with me, but I found a bag at my mum's with all my Kerala Blasters kits in it, which was fond memories. Also, can I just say, I wish all the best to everyone in India, of course, but to my family in Kerala, to look after themselves, take every precaution, because this is a horrible virus. And when I do come back to Kerala, I want to see as many people as I can.